Good morning, good day, good afternoon from wherever you're watching me from. My name is Monica Chines Out or Monica Arenze. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, like, and comment. Today, I will tell you to bring your cup of tea or cornflakes or popcorn or anything that you want to be chewing and be enjoying yourself while you're listening to my little brief discussion with you. So today we are going to talk about spinal cord injury. What is spinal cord injury? What can cause spinal cord injury? What are the levels of spinal cord injury? And what are the possible way to treat person that sustains spinal cord injury. I'll be giving the discussion or the explanation as simple as possible. Spinal cord injury. What is the spinal cord injury? Spinal cord injury is injury. Spinal cord injury is a damage caused to spinal cord injury. Spinal cord injury is a damage caused to the spinal cord, which leads to a loss of function or motion. When you talk about what do you mean by loss of function and loss of motion, for example, in the area of loss of function, if you sustain a spinal cord injury that leads to the level that you are paraplegic. Paraplegic is mostly cases when person cannot use the lower part of the body from the waist down. The person will not be able to walk. So the functions of the legs are not being utilized because of this injury. Then when you talk about mobility, the person can also not walk. That's what the spinal cord has caused for the person. And if it's people that are quadriplegic or tetraplegic, they won't be able to use both the hands and the legs. The functionality has been reduced to the barest minimum. That is what spinal cord injury does when it's being sustained. Then another thing I can tell you, most time when people say, oh, what level is your injury? Person that is aware that you have a spinal cord injury, they will say, oh, what level is your injury? The level of injury they are referring at is they have a complete spinal cord injury and incomplete spinal cord injury. Even me, at the beginning, I didn't understand what this thing stands for or why people are asking me such questions. But as time goes on, try to educate myself on this and try to understand what has happened to me. I have more deeper understanding. So when you see somebody say, oh, they have a complete spinal cord injury, what it means is this, that the level where they sustain the spinal cord injury has kept their functionality, they have loss of functionality and loss of mobility. So they cannot use that part of the body medically again to walk or for that part of body to do the work you normally do before. Then when you say it's incomplete means that incomplete spinal cord injury means that the person that sustained the incomplete spinal cord injury is still that the person has an incomplete or inadequate, or the functionality level is not the same as the person that has complete. For instance, somebody that's sustained paraplegic, incomplete, might make an effort of lifting the leg up, but somebody that's sustained complete will not be able to do that vis-a-vis any part of the body that the person sustained this injury and the level of the injury the person sustained. The level of spinal cord injury, not the level, the I would say, okay, the part of the body or the level of the spinal cord injury person sustained is from different parts. It can be thoracic, it can be lumbar, it can be scatter, it can be cervical, and also other parts of the body. So these parts of the body now comprises like the whole part of human body. So any parts, in human body, they have what they call C1 to where the C region ends. You have T1 to T12 thereabout. You have L1, and you also have I mentioned C? Like C1 to C5 thereabout. All those different regions is different segments that propel the functionality of human mobility and functions. And when persons sustain spinal cord injury and the levels are being impaired or decompressed or one thing or the other, bars the function of the part of the body to be at its maximum efficiency or functionality is no longer the same. So when we say that, okay, you can see some persons from their neck to the lower part of their backbone, from their neck to their chest, they might not be able to utilize it, or from the chest to the navel, then to the waist. You see that the person to use his upper body will be very, very hard. So all the parts of the body has a different segment of the spinal cord injury. So now move to the causes. What could cause spinal cord injury? Spinal cord injury can be caused by motor accident, by sports, by a fall, either by an elderly person or even a young person. And spinal cord injury can also caused by sicknesses. It could be polio, it could be spina bifida, it could be trauma, and a whole lot of things can cause spinal cord injury. And what ways can this be treated? Person that sustains spinal cord injury will first has to go to series of tests, can go to series of medical tests. It could be scan tests, it could be CT scan, it could be X-ray, and it could be also what? Be MRI and others. So when the situation has been diagnosed and find out, the next stage is for treatment. It could be surgery, rehabilitation, and So another thing I want to draw attention into is, for some few minutes ago I was talking about different parts of the body that spinal cord injury can be affected, and I mentioned C1, C2, T1 and all the rest. That are different segments of spinal cord injury that are affected. Is the different segment of spinal cord injury is where you have C1 to like 6'5" or 6'6". You have T1 to like T12. You have L1 to like L5 or thereabout, and all the rest. So these different segments of spinal cord injury made up of all the functionality in human body. And when these different segments are impaired, decompressed, or are affected due to any form of spinal cord injury causes, it will affect functionality and mobility in that person. So that is one of the things I want to draw us to understand. So I will encourage you to take absolute good care of yourself. Get this thing, get idea about it, be knowledgeable about it, and you'll be glad you did. So today, or in this discussion, I've been able to introduce to you spinal cord injury, what spinal cord injury is all about, the causes, the different levels of spinal cord injury, and what it is, and the causes and possible ways you can spinal cord injury can be treated. We always say that spinal cord injury is an injury that damage spinal cord injury. Where is this spinal cord injury found? It's found in the human body at the back. From the nail is like a long pole or long bone, but whenever it's a, so as I was saying that spinal cord injury is an injury or is a damage to the spinal cord. And I was saying that it is the spinal cord is located at our back. Back is not that if you touch your back you feel, it's inside. Is one of the parts of the body, organs of the body, that our functionality and mobility lights on. So I will encourage you to know more about this, and I encourage you to study more or read something concerning this, whether you are a person with disability or whether you are a person with spinal cord injury diseases or any kind of special or any kind of any illness associated with spinal cord injury. So be enlightened about this and know more about it, and I believe I've been able to throw more light, and I'll continue to start having some brief discussions on this. Spinal cord is way to life, is our daily life. When they say somebody is your backbone, it means that everything lies on it. So everything we do in this our life lies on our spinal cord. If there is any kind of damage to the spinal cord, oh my goodness, that's why you see a whole lot of people on a wheelchair today, or using any kind of aid, or not being at their backs. So I want you to know that you need to take absolute care of yourself. You need to protect and care for your spinal cord. You need to do you with all the diligence and everything that is within you. So when you see anybody or different people that have spinal cord injury, their levels, their injury, they can never be the same kind of person. You can have 100 people with spinal cord injury, but their level of injuries are not the same. So, and the way they react to things also differs. You can have the symptom of pain, symptom of tingling, spasm, intensified pain, and all that. The spinal cord injury pain is up the hoof. I can testify and I can tell you, and likewise other people. So sit through, and you can make your comments, like, subscribe, and keep being good. Help someone and be happy. My name is Monica.